Hello my Photoshop friends, welcome to a new tutorial. I'm Andrei from PSD Box, and today I have something really easy for you. I'm gonna show you how I made this image in Photoshop. Something really easy to create. We're gonna use light effects and actually no selections at all. We're just gonna use blend modes and some layer masks. This is the end result of this tutorial. I'm gonna show you the original photo. So we're gonna go from this image to this. I'm using Photoshop CC 2018 for this, but you can create this in any Photoshop version. And we have all the resources on the link on the video description. And if you're watching this from my website, from psdbox.com, you'll find the resources links on the top of the video. For premium members, there's also the PSD file available on the website. And well, all the images that I have for this are from unsplash.com. And well, that's pretty much it with the introduction. I hope you will like this tutorial, and let's rock and roll. So let's open our resources folder. Press Ctrl-Command-O, and these are all the photos that I have for this. You will see that I have two images here. You only have one of them, and I'm going to open this. We're going to start with this image. Now, the first thing that I did to this image is I made some adjustments with the camera raw filter. If you don't have Photoshop CC, you will not see, if you go to filter, you will not see camera raw filter here. So what you have to do is save this image, go to file, save as, and choose TIFF. Here from format, choose TIFF and save the image. That's why I have two here. Once you save it in TIFF format, go back to open again and open this. This is a TIFF file that I saved before when I made the Spanish version of this tutorial. So open it, and by default it should open it in camera raw. Now if it doesn't open it as here as in camera raw and it opens it as a regular JPEG file, all you need to do is go to here to Photoshop, preferences, and on camera raw, here on TIFF and JPEG handling, choose here on TIFF, change this to automatically open all supported TIFFs. TIFFs are sort of raw format, and that's why it opens it in camera raw. Okay, so once you're here in camera raw, what I will do is I just save the preset with the basic edits that I made. Just go to load settings, and you'll find inside the resources folder, you'll find this file called base_edit.xmp. Load that, and you'll have all the edits that I made originally. You can tweak this and make your own changes if you want, but these are the base settings that I made. If you want more light, for example, here you can use a gradient or whatever. Now, in my case, I will click OK. If you open the TIFF file, if you press and hold the Shift key, you will see another button that says Open Object. Click that. So first press the Shift key, click Open Object, and that will create a smart object, and if you double click, you will be able to go back to camera raw and make edits if you want to. In my case, I did it destructively and I applied the settings. Okay, let's move on and make the first adjustments with color lookup. So let's add a color lookup. If you don't have at least Photoshop CS6, you will not be able to add the color lookup because this is new since Photoshop CS6. And I gave you the presets that I used. So just click here on Load 3D LUT and choose Load 3D LUT. This will open a file browser, and I'm going to locate my resources folder, and here it is. And you'll find two files here, the one called DK79 and PSD Box P8 Lightness. And let's open this one, DK79, open it, and this is the effect that you get. If you're using an older version of Photoshop, you can get the similar effect with a gradient map. Just use green and yellow and get this, and maybe use a color blend mode or something like that. And I'm going to drop the opacity to 60%. I'm going to leave it on normal, and we have this greenish tone on the image, which looks a little more cinematic, I guess. And now let's add another one, another color lookup. Again, Load 3D LUT. And open now this second one called PSD Box P8 Lightness. This is from a presets pack that I made for my premium members. It's called Portrait Awesome, and it has a few presets. I have all of them here so you can see them. These presets, I made this for portraits, and they actually have really awesome results on portraits. And well, you can buy it from my website if you want. I'm gonna put a card here if you want to go there. But anyway, let's move on. I'm going to give you this preset for this tutorial. And for this, I'm going to set the blend mode to normal at 50%. Okay, so this is the effect that we get. Next, we're going to add a gradient map. And here I chose the violet, green, and orange. If you don't see these presets here, just click this button and choose reset gradients, click OK, and just look for this preset which comes with Photoshop. And we get this image. Make sure that this violet color is here on the left side of the gradient, not here. Otherwise you will get this effect, which is not what we want. And I'm going to leave the blend mode to normal, and I'm going to drop the opacity to 13%. Okay, this is the effect that we get. Now, let's add more details here. Now, I for some reason, I thought that this could look nice if we create a sort of an underwater effect. And the flying hare here looks like she's underwater sinking or something like that. That's why I added some water here on the top. So press Ctrl+Command-O, this will open our resources folder again and locate this image. Again, from unsplash.com. All of them are from unsplash.com. It's a really awesome website to get stock photos and for free. And I'm going to press Ctrl-A, Ctrl-C, and Ctrl-W. You can see the keyboard shortcuts that I press here on the bottom of the screen. Press Ctrl-V to paste my image here. And for this particular image, I used the overlay blend mode. Because it keeps the contrast. If you use soft light, you will see that it's not looking that nice. With overlay, you keep the highlights there, and it's nice. Now, I have to make this a little smaller and make sure that the weight, well, this hair here, it's not touching the texture, the lines here. So I have to make it smaller with Ctrl-T, load the free transform, press and hold the Shift key, and just make this a little smaller. And now we can move it up, and that way you also keep the perspective. Having the water there, I think it makes it look a little better. Now I have to make a transition here. We don't want this line here, so we have to create the layer mask. Let's name this layer water. And with this layer mask, you can use a soft brush if you want, paint with black like that. But I'm going to use a gradient, so I'm going to use the gradient tool. Make sure you have black to white. And click somewhere here where these lines end. Click here. Press and hold the Shift key so that you don't create lines like this. We want a straight line. And let go somewhere here. Okay, if you want more transition, you can use the brush tool to refine this. And I don't know, maybe use an opacity of 50 and flow 20. And just paint a little to... there was some darkness there. And if you want to remove that with a soft brush, with a big soft brush, you can remove that. And we have the water there. Now, let's move on and start add the jellyfish. Let's open the first one. You'll find two images, well actually three images of jellyfish. This one, you can use this one. I like this waving forms here, but I think it covers too much of the image, and that's why I used this one. But both of them work, so you can try both of them. I will give you both of them. And I work with this one. I'm going to press Ctrl-A, Ctrl-C, and Ctrl-W, and Ctrl-V. And let's name this layer Jelly 1, and we have to make it smaller. First, I'm going to convert this into a smart object, just in case, and make it smaller. Working with smart object is good because maybe if you want to print this image later on, after you save it, you can enlarge the image and not lose quality. And we're going to put this, I don't know, flip it vertically, I don't know, just, we're going to blur this anyway, so you can create sort of a sense of motion. We're gonna see better if we change the blend mode of this. So I'm gonna change the blend mode to screen. Okay, and now I can see it better. Actually, I'm gonna make an edit. You can see that the background is not going away completely. So since this is a smart object, I can use levels because we need to darken the darks. That's why it's not, well, that's why it's visible here. So press Ctrl-Command-L, and you can see there's a gap here on the blacks, here on the left of the histogram. Just click this and move it towards the right, and the midtones as well, just a little bit. You don't want to get rid of that completely because we can use a brush to you have to keep the detail here on the jellyfish as well. So click OK, and now I'm going to create a layer mask for this jelly 1. Press the B key to select the brush, and opacity 50 and flow 20 is okay. And with this soft brush, just paint away that edge. Keep in mind that we're gonna blur this, but anyways, removing the edges is a good idea. like so. Now I have to rotate this because I have this part here is cut, so I have to rotate this a little bit. Something like that. And with this layer mask, I'm going to continue brushing this edge. And now I'm going to blur this. I'm going to select the thumbnail of this layer of Jelly 1, go to Filter, and I'm going to use the blur gallery, but if you want, you can use the Gaussian blur as well. But I like how the fill blur works, how it looks. It creates a better quality blur, I think. And I'm going to use 15 pixels, that's okay for this. I'm going to click OK. And that's it. Now let's add the second jellyfish. This one. This is our image. Open it. And again, Control A, Control C, Control W, and paste it here. And let's name this Jelly 2. I have to make it smaller as well. Control T, Shift, click and change the size of it. Just enough to cover your canvas. Okay. And press enter to accept your change. And again, we're going to change the blend mode to screen. You can try flipping this around vertically and see how they look like. I think I like it this way. Now we're going to create a layer mask for this because I want to remove this one that's covering the face of the girl. Opacity 60 and flow 70. I'll just get rid of that. Okay, and some other details around here. We don't want that. We don't want this. And we don't want these ones here on top, on the bottom. Get rid of them. And we need to use levels here as well, because you can see the background is not completely black. So press Ctrl Command L again. This one I'm going to use it destructively. Notice that I did not convert this into a smart object, even though maybe I should have done that. But anyways. Again, darken the blacks and the midtones as well, and brighten up the highlights. Well, let's not touch the highlights because we're going to add some light effects, and just click OK. And let's start making the light effects. Create a new layer. Oops, my graphics tell it up. Okay, create a new layer, and let's name it Light 1. And put it on screen blend mode. Now here we're gonna use the brush, soft brush like this, hardness 0, and we're gonna change the size depending on the area where we're gonna paint. And here the blend mode, because we're using the screen blend mode, here we have to use dark tones. If we use something that's really bright, it's not gonna work because remember that we have to layer the light effect. So let's start with this orange tone. This is funny because you can try different color combinations. And just click there once. Now this is too bright. Why it's too bright? Because we're gonna, as I said, we're gonna layer the light effects. And if this looks great now, when I add the second light on top, it's gonna look too bright. So just make them a little darker than you actually need. Okay, like that. Next, I'm gonna maybe some green. You can try different colors. You don't have to do it the same. Oh, actually, green is not looking nice. Maybe this magenta looking tone. This one, we're going to add green on it with a smaller brush, of course. And on the other one, maybe add some red. A little bigger, like that. And to this one over here, I don't know, maybe a blue tone. Like so. This is more for the glow than actually the light inside the jellyfish itself. It's just for the glow of light that we need. And I don't know, maybe here this does not look nice because I tried it already. Maybe this orange tone looks better. And this one we're not gonna paint it because we're gonna paint with the second light effect over it, and it's not supposed to create a glow of light, at least in my opinion. A new layer. Let's name it Light 2. And this one, we're going to put it on color dodge. Now this is the same as screen blend mode, but it's a lot more sensitive. In other words, you have to use really dark tones. And we're going to use the second light to create a more vivid effect on here. Okay, so the first one we used it because of the glow of light on the outside. And the second one, we're going to create the light inside and just make it more vivid, more powerful. And the good thing is that you don't have to paint with the same color that you painted here. For example, I don't necessarily have to paint with with orange here and magenta and green here. You can try different blend mode, you can try different tones and blend the colors together and see what you get. So let's try with green for this one. Click there, and this is the effect that you get. If I paint with, for example, this other tone, let's see what we get. Okay, so you get that. Even you can even try different combinations with different brush sizes and get different tones, and maybe make this one a little stronger, and try different colors. I'm going to show you what you can do after you're done with the slide effect. So let's move on, and maybe this one, green and yellow, I think they could look nice. I'm going to paint with yellow here. It's a little too strong, so let's drop the light on it. Okay, that looks good. Here, maybe with this one right there, and maybe some yellow in the center. Oh, that's going to be too strong. Yeah, it looks nice. And here for this one, maybe notice that I don't work with swatches. Maybe some of you work with them. You can add them here and just go here to window and choose swatches and try sampling colors from there. It's easier than opening the color picker. Just get colors from there and paint. But I like to control the light on the colors that I use. So there. Okay, and for this one here, I'm going to use a very unsaturated tone of yellow. Well, blue, I think it looks nice, but it's too strong. A little darker. Okay, like that. So I'm gonna leave it like this. Well, actually, let me paint the one on the right as well. On the left, sorry. Okay. And we're done. Let's close this. Close tab group. Okay. So this is the light effects that I created. Now, if you want to change the tones of all of them, you can select this layer, press Ctrl Command U. This will open the hue saturation, or you can even create a hue saturation layer if you want, and just change the tones, change the hue, and see if you get a better color combination. If you like how it looks, you can leave it. I'm gonna click Cancel because I already like what I got there. And we're pretty much done. You will see that here on the original I used some particles, and the color tones here look better. If you're a premium member, you can see how I've done this. You can see the blend modes that I used. It's the same technique, exactly the same, but I used different tones. And now I'm gonna create a stamp with all of the layers merged. And you can do that with the keyboard shortcut. It's Shift Alt Command E or Shift Alt Control E. And this will stamp everything onto a new layer, just like creating a snapshot. You can also press Ctrl Command A to select the whole canvas and go to Edit, Copy Merged, and then Ctrl V or Paste on a new layer. And that's exactly the same. I'm going to convert this into a smart object. And I will go to Filter and choose Camera Raw. Now, again, if you don't use Photoshop CC, if you don't have it, you can save this already edited image. You can save it in TIFF format and open it back, just like I've done at the beginning of the video. But I have the filter, so I can use it. And here I'm going to give you another preset. If you go to load settings here you will find another preset called final_edit.xmp. Just load that and you'll have the presets that I have on the original. But here I'm going to create a manual edit. Let's see what I can get. On the haze, I'm gonna pump it up just a little, increase the vibrance. Let's see what else. On split toning, maybe we can get some other tones here. And don't forget about the filters. I want to add more light on the center. Let's reset. And here, make sure you have the inside selected. And I'm going to increase the exposure just a little bit. And I'm going to go back to the whole image edit mode using the hand icon. And here on FX, I will add some vignette, some post-crop vignette. Increase feather, decrease midpoint, and increase roundness, and protect highlights. Really easy, the post-crop vignetting. And here on the camera calibration, you can change the tones completely using this channel mixing widget here. And just go ahead and increase the saturation or desaturate some channels. That's really up to you. You can even create glows. I'm going to show you how to create glows with these filters. For example, you can select this filter and create individual glows for each of this. Just remember to reset the local settings, and I don't know, maybe with the dehaze I can create this sort of glow and give it a color, or increase the saturation on that area. I don't know, or highlights, increase them, or maybe create a glow of light here with increasing the exposure and clarity maybe a little bit. So you can create local corrections using these filters, which is really nice. I'm going to click OK. And this is my end result. Again, before camera raw and after. I think it looks better if you have this light on here. And that's how this looks like. I think the original looks a little better. The colors look a little nicer. And the water here on top looks a little nicer as well. But anyway, that's the technique that I used to make this. I hope you enjoyed it. If you upload your images to Facebook or Instagram, please use the hashtag PSDbox, and that way I can, or you can tag me if you want. You can tag PSDbox, and that way I can see what you're doing. And I'm gonna republish the best works on my Instagram so people can see them and your account. So well, that's all for today. I hope you enjoyed this new tutorial. I'm Andrei. See you next time.